The Last of Us is one of the most anticipated TV shows that I can remember of the last few years. People are really hungry for this. They're clamoring for it. They're also terrified of it because the video game is so beloved, and you don't want to mess that up. Craig Mazin, coming off of his masterful work in Chernobyl, is co-creator of the series along with Neil Druckmann, the man behind the first two games. 20 years after modern civilization has been destroyed, Joel, a hardened survivor, is hired to smuggle Ellie, a 14-year-old girl, out of an oppressive quarantine zone. What starts as a small job soon becomes a brutal, heartbreaking journey as they both must traverse the US and depend on each other for survival. I'm not going to get into spoilers for this episode because I'm posting it before it airs, but for future episodes, I will try to post when the episode airs so that I can talk spoilers and it's out there and you can watch the episode, then come see the video. This review is going to be about the pilot episode, and I'm hoping that I can do episodic reviews of this series. Now that the holidays are over, post-production on Shelby Oaks is definitely picking back up, and so my free time is wavering a little bit, and I'm hoping, though, that I can continue to talk about each episode as it airs. If they're as good as this one, I absolutely would love to do that. This episode is fantastic. It absolutely captures the feel of the game, the sadness of the people who survive after this outbreak, the way the world feels like it's all in turmoil and everyone is just fighting to survive. But not just survive, make it through the day. Everyone looks tired, and they did a masterful job of capturing the production design elements of the game. Everything looks overgrown, the spray-painted firefly symbols, the costume design. This is clearly made by people who appreciate the game. Obviously, Neil Druckmann is a co-creator, so he has a voice here. Video game adaptations generally get a very bad rap. Most of the time it is deserved. This is not the case, and I'm hoping that continues throughout the rest of the season because this is clearly made with a lot of love and care for the source material, but Pedro Pascal is just a wonderful actor, and he embodies Joel. He's so good in this first episode. Bella Ramsey has a lot on her shoulders in that she has to take on this very important character for a lot of people, and a character that a lot of people are going to have opinions about. I don't know if you know this, but The Last of Us fandom is a completely healthy environment. There's never been any problems there. She is excellent. I loved her in what screen time she has because this episode focuses mostly on Joel and this early pre-outbreak situation where you get to understand what his life was like at one point and you see day one and how terrifying it is. And one of the things I loved about it is that it's also pre-social media in 2003, and so people are kind of just wandering around the streets and hear police sirens and they see helicopters and they're like, that's kind of weird. And then they just go home and they kind of hang out for a bit and then they hear more helicopters. And nowadays you would kind of pull up your phone and check whatever's trending and be like, oh my God, what's going on? But back then the information came slower. And Mazin, who also directs this episode, does a very good job of stretching out that tension. If you've played the games like I have, you're aware of what's coming. But I was riveted the whole way through, even with that knowledge. There are so many things working in this first episode that I've already mentioned visually, and the score, and the sound effects, and the fear of these very fast zombies running around. But what I think works best about it is the sense of desperation that you feel as soon as that first outbreak happens, and even the 20-year jump into the future when you see what people are dealing with now. Mazin directs most of the episode handheld, and I don't normally love that, but I think it did something really well here, in that almost every scene feels like that incredible moment in Train to Busan where they're walking through that tunnel and you just feel like a bullet could come from anywhere, and you know that someone's going to die and that anything could jump out at them and just end their lives. And I felt that sense of constant urgency throughout this episode, which is very difficult to maintain. And it sets up such an exciting cliffhanger that I just immediately wanted to watch episode 2, but it's not available yet. I can't tell you how happy I am with this pilot. I really do think that they captured the spirit of the game. I think that they're being loyal to its story and recreating something that is familiar, but I can sense that they will take risks and do things that are interesting with the characters that maybe we don't expect. What I know is that I immediately felt like I was in good hands. There wasn't a single aspect of this that made me go, oh, I'm worried about that. I don't know. Bella Ramsey is fantastic as Ellie. Pedro Pascal, great as Joel. He has that rare actor gift where he can just sit there and stare and you can read a million things on his face. And I also love how they're depicting Joel as a survivor in that he's got to do really bad things. He has to see a family screaming on the road as he drives past and they need help. And he's like, don't stop, just keep going. And that might make him look bad, but that's why he's still alive. So yeah, I loved the pilot episode for Last of Us. I am so excited to continue to watch it. I hope you guys enjoy it too when it airs. And please look forward to more videos about the show because I am very excited to talk about it. Guys, thank you so much as always for watching. Look forward to more videos very soon. And if you like this, you can click right here and get Stuckmanized.